Rasmus Hojlund gets his first Premier League goal, his sixth goal of the season, and he wins it late for Manchester United. A sensational comeback completed against one of the title challengers, one of the best teams in the league this season, Aston Villa. A brace from young Alejandro Garnacho, and Man United end a run of such poor goal scoring form. But more importantly to me, showed fight. They increased the tempo. They ensured a better mentality in that second half. And the football was really good. There was some disallowed goals. United were sensational in that second half. The style looked good. The play looked good. But you know why that was all doable? Why that was all achievable? Because it was hard work. Tempo, work rate. That is what these Manchester United players gave us in the second half. Hard work. It's the most important element of any successful team. The system will only work if blood, sweat, and tears are given each and every single minute. That second half made me proud as a Manchester United fan. Proud as a Man United fan. If Ten Hag gets us playing like this more regularly, I'll back him. If the players work this hard, I'll back them. One swift does not a summer make. More is needed. But I'll give credit where credit is due. That second half performance was absolutely tip-top. It wasn't a comeback that we didn't deserve. We played well. There is sustainability if that level of performance, that level of work rate is delivered again. Absolute quality. I will praise it. It was absolutely sensational. The other element that's sensational is golden goals. We're sponsored again, as you can see, by BetMGM. Get the app downloaded. £2 million being given away every single Premier League match day. You can't end a match week 19. That's done. But for match week 20, which is only a few days away, get ready, get signed up, and try and win £2 million. More on that a little bit later. But wow, I was so impressed with that second half. So impressed with that second half from Manchester United. As I mentioned, the work rate was there. The energy levels were there. Bruno Fernandes, that is what I call a captain's performance. His pressing was out of this world. He orchestrated, he encouraged his team. He was pulling the strings on the ball. Marcus Rashford, who had been rightfully criticized this year, unselfish, working hard both in the attack and in the defense, instrumental in helping to start this comeback. Alejandro Garnacho, who, look, there's still elements for him to improve on. Much better on the right-hand side for me. Do you know what it really helped? Even the irony is he got in the position for a couple of cutbacks in the game, didn't do it. He's got to add that to his game. But he can use his left foot a lot better than Rashford can. I prefer him out on that side. Rashford has one main position he plays on the left, but he was great today, bagging himself a brace, very, very close to getting a hat-trick today. And we needed to start scoring more. We need more GA from him. A little bit better decision-making as well. But overall, in that second half, he was on fire. Rasmus Hojlund today. I'm so glad of one thing Ten Hag did. When he made them substitutes, I was so scared he was going to take him off again. And I felt in other games recently, we need that focal point. We take him off because maybe he ain't playing that well. But our shape falls apart. So I'm glad he stayed on. I'm glad he persevered. And during the game, you can see the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's got Sean Mills waiting on miracles, trolling him. You've got Man United fans on his case, but in a very unfair way. And I was watching the first half, and you can see the weight of the world on his shoulders, the pressure of not scoring in the Premier League. Although he's the top scorer in the Champions League, that seems to have been ignored in the last couple of weeks. And there was times in the first half where his touch could have been better, times where he should have shot and he ended up passing. And that's a man who's lacking confidence. That is a man who is struggling. But the way he took that goal, that shot, that celebration, that moment of ecstasy, you see the relief, release from him of pressure. And I believe you will now see a much better Rasmus Hojlund. We still need another striker. Doesn't rewrite what we need. It doesn't mean we don't need to buy anybody else, but you'll see a more relaxed Hojlund. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some more goals from him in the Premier League momentarily, in my opinion. I want to actually also, the first half we know was a shit show from set pieces. We defended awfully. The play was okay. The tempo was just slow. But I thought in the second half, I thought Johnny Evans and Varane as a partnership worked very, very well again. And I was really proud today of young Mainu. He had a very poor moment against West Ham, which cost us our second goal, but didn't let any of that damage him, didn't let any of that impact him. And he grew into today's game. And he actually played a brilliant pass that broke the lines in the lead up to our equalizing goal, which kind of went under the radar. The replays didn't even show it. And I thought he was absolutely brilliant today as well as that game went on. And look, Eriksen played well. Everybody was good in that second half. Some important saves as well when it went to 2-2. The ball went down the other end and Onana was called upon, earning his money there. And I've said a lot of harsh things about these players and this manager in recent weeks when they have deserved it. And I stand by everything that I have said. But I don't have an agenda against a single one of them. My opinion on them ends up being wrong and they improve and we go to another level. If the manager stays and we become the team I want us to become, I'll just hold my hands up as a man and say, wow, I got that wrong. But I'm so happy that I am wrong. Because if I'm wrong, it means Man United are doing something right. And in the cold, hard light of day, that's all I care about, is my team doing well. So, look, well done to the manager today, because it was a poor first half. He stuck to the team. He managed to get into them and make them come out here and work hard and run. As soon as that tempo went up, it was a different Manchester United. He didn't make changes too early. I didn't think we needed to today. He kept Rasmus Hojlund on that pitch. He kept Mainu in this team after his mistake. And overall, I think he got it absolutely right today. And I hope the players learn that when we play with tempo, listen, when we play with tempo, we're better than this Villa team that everybody's raving about, and rightfully so, because Villa are a good team. Man United, when we work hard, are better than this Aston Villa team. I absolutely believe that, especially at home. They were 2-0 up. You could argue they deserved it, but I'm watching them and thinking, are they really that much better? By the way, this is a team that battered Man City a few weeks ago. Look what we just did to them. The technical ability, we need to improve in certain areas. We need more strength in depth, I agree. But we don't work hard enough, we don't run enough, and we don't break our backs for this football club. That is what needs to improve at Manchester United. And very, very proud of that indeed. And yes, someone here says, "Oh, I beg you, pray, Johnny Evans." I just praised him a moment ago. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. And as I said before, this doesn't make up for being six. This doesn't make up for losing more since the worst start to a season since the 1930s. It doesn't make up for all the bad things this season. One performance, as I said, one swift does not a summer make. But I will praise quality when I see it. The excitement in me is that we know this team can do this. We saw it against Chelsea. We saw it in one Carling Cup game earlier. Carling Cup, how old am I? EFL Cup, Carabao Cup earlier. We saw it today in that second half. This team can play ball. This team can play with tempo. I just want more of it. They've set the standard again. They've set a standard again and just gone and beaten one of the best teams in the league and come from 2-0 behind. Now, I now expect you're never going to get that every game, every week, home and away. It's impossible. It never happened in the history of football. But I expect more of this on a regular basis, especially at home. But as I say, Alejandro Garnacho, what a performance from that young man. He needs more goals. He needs more assists, and they're coming in abundance. And I am really proud of Rasmus Hojlund. I felt that the criticism of him has been over the top. I felt that people are using criticism against some of their favorite players have now left the club, or individuals that are at the club that also get criticized, and have almost been using Rasmus Hojlund as the shield to defend their favorite players. It's been really hard to read it and look at it. The lack of supply, the lack of chances created for him. And of course, he needs to improve as well. And I've said that on many occasions. He needs to create more opportunities. He needs to be a bit more kind of proactive. And he was for his goal. He stayed alert. He was in the right space. You know, the way he swiveled and moved his body is a very difficult goal to score because of the angle of the ball and where he was positioned. But I was very proud that he's carried on working hard. He's been busting the gut every single game. He hasn't been allowing. His confidence has been damaged, but he hasn't allowed that to stop him from working hard. And he deserves a lot of credit for that. But that's goal number 6 for him now this season. Predicted 15 goals. I still think he can reach 15 goals in all competitions this year. He just needs Man United fans, in my personal opinion, to get behind him and to support him. Criticize him when criticism is necessary. But to use him as a tool to prop up fouled ex-players of this football club, He's so strange to me. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Some super chats here. I'm still waiting on a miracle to come. We need a miracle to save our season. But you know what? I'm talking about today in isolation, and I was very, very happy with that performance indeed. And I just want to say this, they're not even officially in yet, but look what the impacts that Jim Ratcliffe has already had. It's a bit of a joke. I don't actually mean that. How was your Christmas, Terry? Congrats on the win. My Christmas was lovely. Thank you, Obi. Very, very, very nice indeed. Family, friends, the kids loved it. And today, Man United winning today has made it even better. I'm not even going to lie. Excellent fight and comeback. Offside. Yeah, I mean, we're offside so many times today, but we got there in the end. Ask Lee what phase Emery is on straight facts. Yeah, I want to ask Lee about Unai Emery because since Aston Villa have been announced as title contenders by the world, they failed to win. They didn't win at home against one of the worst teams in the league, Sheffield United, and they bottled a 2-0 lead against Manchester United, who are awful. I wonder how much praise Unai Emery's going to get. Or criticism. Those two United teenagers saved Ten Hag's job. Yes, partly because they delivered. At the same time, Ten Hag also made decisions that were correct in that game that helped save his job as well, Pete, in my opinion. So I get where you're coming from. But at the same time, I think there's a couple of elements to that are true.